Norms and behavior. Very good. I think you guys are already know things. So culture is just a system of behavior that helps us act in an accepted and familiar way. So it has to be something which is accepted. If I am going to a new country where I don't know anything about the culture, first and foremost is to really understand what are those things which are accepted in that society, in that country, in that group. Brian was talking about whether because people are from different countries, but he also mentioned that we are from different, like for example, except me, all of you here are with me, right? From different cities. So still you will have different cultures. Right? Now in an organization, even though we might be from the same country, but there are different groups. Within a team, there are different culture. Right? I've been in this country for the last 5 years, and I've moved to. I've worked in two organizations. Culture within the organizations are different. So the culture doesn't just mean nationality. Culture means what that group really believes in, what that group really, what are the behaviors which are accepted within that group. That is what culture is all about. Right? Are you clear on this? Culture? Yeah. So I come from India, as Brian mentioned, and I have been moving to different countries. So I started with Dubai. So in UAE, I was there for almost 7 years to 8 years. Then moved to Indonesia. Again, Asian market, very different culture. And then Vietnam. So four countries, including India. But then when I was in Dubai, I used to keep moving to different countries like Saudi Arabia, to Morocco, to Lebanon, to Egypt, South Africa. So I've been different places, and every time you go to different country, it's very different. And unless you really try to understand how to really adjust with the culture, it will be very difficult to work with people of that particular country, of that particular group. So what is it that we need to really understand? One is the culture, right? So we said 3 things, cross, I think most of us know. Culture is something which we really need to understand, and I will get deeper into the culture. Next is the communication. What is communication? Very easy, right? Anything which you, verbal, non-verbal, we convey a message, or how do you define communication? How do you define communication? So a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system. Again, if you look at culture, if you look at communication, there has to be something common. So that's why I highlighted it. If you look at this, accepted and familiar, right? Something in that culture which is accepted and familiar. And then what is communication? It's again of a common system of symbols, signs and behavior. So communication doesn't mean that I need to stand here and talk, right? I'm looking at all of you now. I'm talking to all of you, right? But when I'm looking at each one of you, with your facial expression itself, I understand whether you are able to connect with me or not. Right? So this is the signs and behavior. If you are in a office, in a corporate meeting, and you have like 10 people in your meeting room, you might see somebody who is just nodding, and somebody who is just on the phone. What is the message which you keep getting? What is the message? They are not engaged. Exactly. So it's not their fault. Perhaps it's the fault of the presenter. Yes, sometimes we always feel that, oh, that person is not interested in my presentation or my talk. Not really. It's perhaps I have not really understood how to connect with that person. It's nothing to do with the person in the audience. So it's again about the common system of symbols, signs, and behavior. Right? Now again, culture. Now let's try understanding culture a bit more. Okay? Get deeper into the culture. What is culture? It's our mental programming. It's our mental programming, which tells us what is good, what is bad, what is accepted, not accepted, things which are wanted, not wanted in the group or society, something which is welcome or not welcome. How do you know this? When you start observing things, when you start interacting with people. Like for example, how many of you are working? I know, kids are there, so I'm not asking them. But how many of you, in a culture, in an office where you have like multicultural team? Yeah. Now, if you have somebody as a foreigner, how do you? What is it that you really see them when they first join? What are those things which you notice, which is like, oh, why is he doing like that? Or why is she doing like that? Haven't you ever faced the situation? Somebody comes to your office and day one starts the same way as perhaps that person was doing in their own country. You feel a bit weird because that's not accepted. For example, I will not name the community or the country, but there are some nationalities who are very open, very frank, very blunt. Right? When they come in Asian society, Asian culture, countries, being blunt, sometimes we feel as an Asian, that's not the culture. Asian, even if you want to say something very strong, or very, very tough, or very direct, you have to have your own way to tell because the other person gets offended. And this is something which you will understand only when you observe, when you learn what's the culture of that particular organization, of that particular society or country. Right? So again, because we need to understand what is the ritual, norms, you said rituals, right? Yeah. Rituals, norms, which we need to respect. It might sound very weird when you go to a place which is, because again, it's a mental programming. If I am coming from a country where, for example, hugging, if I meet somebody, I just hug. There are countries where they kiss, right? If you go to a country which is very conservative, go to Middle East, for example, where I stay, you cannot talk to women like that. So you need to understand, you need to know the culture. So there are different, so again, based on the country, the society where you are going in, you need to understand that. When you look at a culture, again, as I said, we are trying to get more deeper into the culture. When you look at culture has an outer shell and an inner self. What is outer self? Outer self is something where, based on how I look at people, how they behave, I form an opinion. Right? Just based on somebody's action to me or action towards me. So that's the outer self, which is again sometimes verbal, sometimes non-verbal. But then the very important one is the inner self, which is the values. The person has, over the years, built the values. Right? So why the person is behaving like that, just by talking or just by the action, you won't be able to understand why that person is behaving like that. Because there is something called self. Right? And this self is built based on the values and the logic of socialization. Like for example, again giving context. Now in any gathering, if it is a friends gathering, we toss our beer, right? Pop right? Yo, that's something which we celebrate together, correct? But it's not the same when you go to different countries. Why this is accepted here? Because this has been a tradition. This is something to celebrate, to have fun when we meet together as a friend. So so for the culture there is something called outer and inner. Now I'll come to this, but I think it is getting one way, very monologue. Can we just? How much time do I have? I have time. Okay. So let's make it more interactive, right? Have you ever experienced? Can you give me an example where you have experienced something which has to do with this topic? Culture. In your organization, in your, maybe when you were, some of you have gone out and studied abroad, have you faced it, something where you felt, why is this person behaving this way, or have you, I mean, and then let's discuss that. That will give us more clarity rather than just giving slides, and it's not a lecture anyways. Lee, I'm sure you will.
Right, so I have a study group, and our study group consists of like 2 Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm studying. So my study group consists of like 2 Canadians, 1 Japanese and me Vietnamese. And one of the things that I noticed is that the 2 Canadians, they are often very frank, and they like to talk straight to the point whenever we're doing group work. But like for me and the Japanese guy, we tend to be more, okay, first we listen to everyone, and then we try to consolidate the ideas, and then we do that, but not like get straight to the point. And even when we try to, give feedback or complain, we tend to be very indirect.
Right. So that we think that the other person should not get hurt with whatever we are saying, right?
Yep.
Any other example, experience? Yeah.
All right. So in my company, my boss, who is an American lady, yeah, she's very straightforward and direct to the point. So she often call me to her office, and then she kind of share with me her frustration that her direct reports, the function head, different function head of different function, they usually comes to her and complain about another one. I don't like her. She did this and she did that. I don't think it is right thing to do. And another time another person comes and complain about another point. So she called me in because I'm the HR. So she called me in and she keep asking me the same question. I really don't understand why they just come to me and complain about others. Why don't they just have a talk to each other, confront each other, share with each other about what they don't feel comfortable about the other one. So why they just come to me and why they want me to be in the middle and like jump in that conflict and solve it for them.
Right.
So it's kind of happened in the culture of Vietnamese people.
Right. Any other? Yes.
In my workplace, my boss had just come to our office since April, and the way he communicates to us, like he used a lot of, I think like the fuck word, the F word, when he frustrated, and even the word like me in the meeting, he usually use that word when he expresses frustration, and I think it's in our culture it's very rude, but he thinks it's normal in his culture.
Right. These are very, very, very sensitive things, and as an expat, see today I am an expat here, but maybe tomorrow you are going to other countries, you are an expat there. But it doesn't matter where we are, wherever we are, the first and foremost thing is to respect people of that country, the culture of that country. Because once you get that mindset, and because if you remember, I talked about the mental programming, right? We are wired in such a way that we get used to what we see around, right? For the example which you gave, it's more like it is normal, it is a norm to share the frustration in that way. But the culture is different. People don't mind when you say those words. But in a culture where it is more conservative, I would not say conservative, it's again a definition. In a culture where people really get offended by those words, you have to be very, very careful. It's not just those words, but I think it is all about even the way you talk. I mean, I can tell you, as I said, in Vietnam itself, I had two organizations experience. In this second organization where when I joined, I have 4 reportees. Now, I tried doing the same way what I used to do in the other organization. Again, a very different, similar, same industry. Now here when I said, okay, fine, so, I started saying, so show me what you're going to present to the client, and I said, why do you need to see my report? Don't you have a confidence in me? So there are, and of course you want to make sure that whatever goes to your client or to your customer is the best. So, but you need to learn how to really even communicate with your subordinates, with your peers, so that it doesn't hurt. Yeah. So, in any culture, if you really want to see this, there are 3 stages, I would say, or three ways. Number 1 is, if I'm, say for example, if I go to a country where I don't know anything about the culture, I'm a completely new person there, I go there, of course, I don't even understand the language, for example. Say, assume we go to South America, Brazil or somewhere. Completely new, right? Alien to that country. So what do? We confront. There are 3 ways we can manage it ourselves. Number 1, we confront, which is saying, these guys don't know. Okay. Not at all worth spending my time explaining to them what is right, what is wrong. Right? So the first one is confront. You can just go to the first one and keep cribbing and I don't know. So it's more like that's the stage where you call it as a confront. The second phase is about complaint. You don't like something of that culture and you keep complaining. Oh, this is not good, they don't do this. And then what you do is you start looking for your set of either the same nationality, or if you are now, if like for example, if you are as a Vietnamese, if you go there and you don't find anybody else, then maybe you will look for somebody who has some interest there, common, and then you will try to form a group there, which is not correct. And because you are not happy with that. The last one is about conform. What is conform? Anyone? What is the meaning of conform? Conform?
Getting along with the
Getting along. Thank you. Conform is like accepting, getting along, adapt. Okay? So that's the mode where you can, and for that you need to be curious. You really need to be curious. You need to be curious to really understand what's going on. Can I just know why people are doing that? If you're not comfortable, right? If you're not comfortable, you don't just say, oh, this is not correct, this is wrong, or this is right. Just try to understand why people are doing that. Yeah, talk to somebody who is from that culture and try to understand, like, why, is there a culture behind it? Is there some tradition behind it? Why people do like that? The more you try to understand as a curious person, you will be able to get more and more understanding about the culture, you will start respecting the culture. So it's up to us whether you want to get into the comfort, complain, or conform. If you get into the third one, it's good for you, good for all. And again, we see world through our own glasses. What do you mean?
We have our own perspective.
Our own perspective, because these are all which has been built up since our childhood. Maybe somebody would have told in our, like, maybe when we were growing up, our great grandparents, when they were telling some stories of some war or something, maybe at that time it was like, oh, these guys from this country, they are really bad. It started getting in, and we might have had some stories or some movies around it. So it made us think that, okay, people from or people who are of this nationality, they're like this. So we start forming our own impression. So that's what it's like. We see world through our own glasses, and that's something which we need to be very careful, because that's not right. Because our glasses might be different. And this is where we need to change the lens. We need to change the lens of our glasses. And when I say change the lens, it is more of really looking at have the lens which is really clear to understand that culture, that society, right? Rather than having our own lens, which is like, we have been there and we have been looking people or society in the same way. It's all about changing. And if you really want to adjust to a society, to a culture, whether it is about nationalities, different nationalities working in your office, or different groups working in your office, because I can give you examples as some of my clients where their entire office is like it's a local company, Vietnamese, all. But again, when I talk to this team versus that team, very different values, very different culture. I don't know if you believe that, but there are instances where you will see that within an office, you will see different cultures, different groups, different beliefs, right? So it's all about really understanding each other. If you really want to have a very successful business if you're really looking at an organization which really grows, you need to really understand each other. And learning to be comfortable in what is not comfortable. What do you mean by that in our context of culture? Accept the difference, yes, and at times you might have to do something which is you are not really liking it, but still you do it. And the more you do it, you get used to it, and you start loving it. If you really want to get